Please subscribe to this video, like it, and please share. We really appreciate, okay? Comment on it, like the video, share it, and subscribe. Thank you. My name is Fred. I work with Forbes Solutions. I'm going to be talking to you about IELTS. IELTS is an English-based exam. It's just an English-based exam that is used to assess your proficiency in English language. So it is not a technical test. Simply means nobody is going to ask you to define anything. Nobody is going to ask you who formulated any law. Just general questions like where do you work, general information. So the overall essence of the IELTS is to evaluate your level of proficiency in English language. There are basic things you need to understand generally about the IELTS test, which will help you to make the right decision before enrolling for the IELTS exam, alright? So the first in the list is the type. There are several types of IELTS, but predominantly there are about two of them, that you always have to choose from, which are the UKVI and the standard. The UKVI is taken by anybody that wish to use the IELTS result for UK and other countries. So for example, you want to work in the UK, you want to apply for admission, and it has to do with the UK, you have to take the UKVI. Mind you, you can use it for UK and other countries, right? Whereas the standard is meant for other countries with the exception of UK. It simply means if you write your IELTS standard, you will not be able to use it in the UK. You can actually use it in US, Canada, Australia, and other countries. Now, the second thing you need to know is the versions of the IELTS. Again, we have the academic and the general version, right? For the academic, you take the academic version of the IELTS if you intend to use your IELTS results to seek for admission in a school, in any school, provided it has to do with admission. The version of IELTS to take is the academic. Whereas the general is actually to seek for job, is for employment purpose. We have issue of people, because of the word general, they have the feeling that, oh, you can use it for everything and anything. No, that's not it. If you take the IELTS general or the general version of the IELTS, you'll be able to use it to process work, you'll be able to use it at the embassy, and then you can actually use it to complete your secondary education. The next information you need to understand is the writing method, alright? So there's a PB, which is paper-based. It simply means using your pen and paper to write the exam, alright? And if you do this, you will have to write the IELTS exam within 2 days. The first day will be just only the speaking test, and then the second day of the exam, which is not necessarily the next day after the speaking, it can be a day or two after the speaking. Then you take the listening, reading, and then writing. Then the second type of the exam is called the CD. The CD is a computer delivered. This simply means you'll be using computer for your IELTS. It is not the same as online, because if it is online, that means you can do it at the comfort of your house, your office, or any other secured environment. But it is computer delivered. It simply means you are going to write it at the IELTS center, but this time around, instead of using pen and paper, you're going to use computer for the exam. But however, I think you should also know that if you take the computer delivered test, the computer delivered as a method of writing, your result is going to come faster. So if you're actually looking at time, you may have to consider the computer delivered, but you need to consider your typing speed, because in the writing module of the IELTS, if you use computer delivered, it simply means you are going to type your letter and essay. So you consider your typing speed before deciding on the paper-based or the computer delivered. Now, the next thing we look at is scoring. Now, the IELTS is scored in bands. It's called bands, okay? So you have band 1.0, band 1.5, 2.0, up to 9.0, which is the highest band anybody can get, right? So it is called in band, all right? Now, the next thing, or the last on the list here, is validity of the result. Under validity of the result, there are a few things I need you to consider. Your IELTS, you have about 4 modules, that is 4 tests: the speaking, the listening, the reading, and the writing. Whether you are taking the academic or the general, UKVI or standard, you have to do the speaking test, the listening test, the reading test, and the writing test. The essence, during the speaking test, you'll be asked questions which you will have to respond to verbally by speaking your answer. In the listening test, you will have to listen to pre-recorded audios, conversations and discussions, and then answer questions on them. Then in the reading test, you'll be given passages to read and then answer questions on them. And then lastly, in the writing test, you will have to write. If you are doing the academic, for example, you will be doing a diagram interpretation and writing an essay. If you are doing the general, then you write a letter and then write an essay. So that is that. Now, for validity of the result, you need to pass each of these tests. And the IELTS standard pass mark is actually 4.5. So if you have 4.5, you have actually passed that particular test or that particular module. But however, you need to understand the fact that institutions and that is schools and other bodies, they have their own required score. For example, if you want to process IELTS for work, you should be looking at band 7. That is the honest fact. Then if you want to use it to secure an admission, that means you are writing the academic version, you may have to look at the website of the school, because such schools, they are going to specify their required IELTS score. So you need to pass each and all the modules for the IELTS certificate to be valid. When you achieve that, the next thing you need to consider is the fact that the IELTS result is actually valid for 2 years. So once you have your good scores, you need to use the IELTS result within 2 years. So the essence of this video is to help you to make the right decision, because if you make the wrong decision, you may have to rewrite the IELTS. For example, if you are to maybe use IELTS for work and you write the academic, you can't use it. And then if you are to seek for admission and you take the general, you can't use it. So listen to this video again, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel if you've not done that, so you get updates as we release tutorial. There are several other videos you need to watch. Each of these modules, we have specific videos on them, because you need to know how to prepare for the exams, what is expected of you, and all of that, for you to actually do well in your exam. And that's our honest prayer. Lastly, there are 2 things I will advise you to pay attention to as you prepare for your IELTS exam. Firstly, ensure you have your international passport. Obviously, without it, you can't enroll for the exam. And then on the exam day, you must take it to the exam center. And then secondly, don't joke with your time during your IELTS exam. If your time is 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m., make sure you are at the center before that time. It is my prayer that you will have a very good score in your IELTS exam. Thank you.